I really didn't want to make this video, but the moment of truth has arrived. I've hyped him up for years, but now I have to keep it real. If you ask me who the best superhero I've ever seen is, I'd simply tell you, without rambling, it's Batman. So how can I say that when the whole point of this video is that Batman is the worst superhero you'll ever see? Just stick with me for a second. Batman is an absolute badass. I mean, he's just a regular, filthy rich guy, ripped like crazy, practically zero body fat, with absolutely no superpowers, yet he's one of the strongest, coolest heroes out there. Everyone is terrified of him. The Dark Knight, pure horror, presence, and charisma. Plus, he has some of the best villains in history. The Joker, Two-Face, Bane, Penguin, Ra's al Ghul, the list goes on. Even their names alone are scary. And he has that dark vibe that makes you sit alone at night feeling like you are Batman. There are so many things that make me love Batman, but unfortunately, I have to say it. Batman is the worst superhero you will ever see in your life. And before you get triggered and hit the dislike button, let me drop some truth bombs. Just hear me out. The guy honestly has zero superpowers. None. He's just a dude who did some push-ups, hit the gym for a few months, put on a black suit, and went out to fight crime. You might say, well, isn't that inspiring? He's a normal guy trying his best. Sure, whatever. But when you watch a movie where Batman is next to a villain with actual superpowers, you can't help but laugh. It looks ridiculous, guys. You see him running away, throwing little smoke bombs, while the villain facing him could literally disintegrate him. We're talking about villains who destroy planets, guys that Superman struggles against, and Batman is just there. It feels like he faked his way into the group project, standing in the middle of the Justice League pretending to help. And don't even get me started on Aquaman. I still don't know how he got into the group either. What is his superpower? Talking to fish? That is the lamest cower I've ever seen. What is that gonna do? How does that help against cosmic threats? Oh, look, a cute little tuna is gonna stop the alien invasion. So Aquaman definitely pulled some strings to get in, but let's stick to Batman. Seriously, what is he doing there? A character like Darkseid destroys entire galaxies, and Batman is trying to punch him? How? Who is his connection at HR that got him this job? I don't get it. My biggest problem with Batman, the thing that absolutely drives me up the wall, is that he refuses to kill his villains. You'll say it's his code of justice. If he kills, he loses his soul. Blah, blah, blah. Take a step back and look at the actual situation. He's just a lunatic playing tag with other lunatics. What are you expecting when you catch a guy like the Joker and throw him in prison? You think he's gonna find Jesus? You think he's gonna repent? No! Literally the next day, he breaks out and commits crimes 10 times worse than before. You see him fighting a penguin man or a guy with half a burnt face. He beats them up, throws them in jail, and they walk out the next day. And speaking of villains, while Batman has a good roster, his obsession with the Joker is weird. I feel like there's a seriously toxic relationship between Batman and the Joker. I mean, aside from not killing him, what about the other villains? The Joker gets all the screen time. The other villains feel like their stories are weak or invisible compared to the Joker. They exist, but they don't get the spotlight. And it gets way worse. Jason Todd. This kid was one of Batman's Robins. The Joker kidnaps him, locks him in a warehouse, beats him senseless with a crowbar, and then blows up the building. The kid dies. And Batman, he does nothing. He doesn't end the Joker. The problem is, Jason Todd comes back to life as Red Hood. He returns for revenge, kidnaps the Joker, beats him up, and finally wants to put a bullet in him to save the world from his evil. And what does Batman do? Imagine this. He fights Red Hood and beats him up to save the Joker. Can you imagine? Instead of teaming up with Red Hood to end the Joker's terror and helping Jason heal from his trauma, no, he hospitalizes his former partner to protect the clown. I honestly don't understand the logic. Another thing, he lets the worst mass murderers live. But if little Timmy steals a Snickers bar or a sandwich because he's starving and hiding in an alley to eat it, Batman is waiting in the shadows to break his legs and give him quadriplegia. All that for a sandwich. He's not even successful as a superhero. Look at Gotham City. It's always a crime-ridden dump. Why? Is it because Timmy ate a stolen sandwich? No, it's because he lets the supervillains live to escape and do worse things. It's like he'd get bored if he killed them, so he keeps them around for entertainment. Plus, the guy is filthy rich. Bruce Wayne has like the entire country's GDP in his pocket. Have you never thought, instead of dressing like a bat and hiding in the dark, maybe use that money to feed the poor? Feed little Timmy, whose legs you just broke. You could buy the entire city of Gotham and rebuild it from scratch with your cash. I don't get how he has a sense of justice while sitting on billions and not fixing the root causes. Also, the guy is a walking mental health crisis. He's so dark, lonely, isolated, and depressed. Every time someone talks to him, it's, "I am vengeance. I am vengeance." Okay, bro, chill out. You're starting to scare me. He's the opposite of Superman. When you see Superman, you feel hope, warmth, safety. And usually, crime stops when Superman is around. I mean, the guy flies and shoots lasers from his eyes. If I see a guy who can melt me with a stare, am I going to commit a crime? No. But Superman's problem is he's too nice, unlike Batman. So forget the fact that he doesn't kill villains, forget that he bullies starving kids in alleys, and forget that he's faking it alongside the actual superheroes. Honestly, Batman is still a total badass. Even if everything I said is true, people will still love him because he is the Dark Knight. He doesn't need powers. Seeing him step out of the shadows to beat down a thug is just satisfying. My only beef is the no killing rule. You say he becomes a villain if he kills. Honestly, nobody cares about the philosophy. We just want the Joker gone. Because if we're talking seriously, Batman is one of the most iconic characters ever. I'm not huge into superheroes, but if a Batman movie drops, I'm watching it. He's supposed to be the world's greatest detective with a plan for everything. If you watch the latest movie, The Batman, it doesn't feel like a superhero flick. It feels like a crime noir, a detective trying to solve a puzzle. It was thrilling and grounded. That's why Batman works. He's more of a detective than a superhero. His darkness is actually a feature, not a bug. And his money? That is his superpower. It helps him fight for justice since he can't fly. I don't even consider him a sci-fi character. The Dark Knight trilogy feels realistic. Just a rich guy using tech to fight corruption. Even his villains usually feel like they could exist in the real world. At his core, he's a rich kid who was spoiled until his parents were murdered right in front of him. He blames himself, thinking he could have saved them, and starts this journey of loneliness and depression. He's one of the superheroes who has suffered the most, but he's still just a human, and that's what sets him apart. The grit, the seriousness, it makes him cool. It makes people relate to him. Even without powers, he can take down Superman, the guy with the laser eyes, because he has a plan. He's a master strategist. So, from my point of view, Batman is the best superhero. The whole worst superhero rant, that was just me playing devil's advocate for the haters. Let me know in the comments what you think about Batman.